Everybody, welcome back to another episode of FSide DFS Fantasy NASCAR Picks. I'm Russ Mega 31, Chicago race, street race, 4th of July weekend. Hopefully, you had a great time and it's a good way to finish. Third year here, probably last year here, they might be moving to another city. So, I mean, the first year was a disaster with the rain and everything. Last year wasn't bad. It was won by strategy and three most dominant cars that did really well during the race. All had issues towards the end, and opened the door for Bowman to win. Looks like some more weather tomorrow might make things interesting. Practice was interesting. A lot of cars wrecked, a lot of chalk at the back. Um, so we'll try to sort through it all. Apologies again for last week. I was time crunch. I did both videos back to back. I did the truck, then cup. On my screen, I thought I had everything switched over, but I had the truck sheet up. So if I screw up a video, if there's no sound or something happens or it's the wrong sheet or something, as soon as you guys put in the comments, I work really hard to do something to fix it to get the information. So if something's wrong with the video ever, just put a note, some check back, see what my response is, see what my response to others are. There's always usually some way I'm going to fix it. Usually the most simple one is when I get the sheet completed, I just post a link to a picture in my Google Drive, and then you can go and see it and just use it that way. And you can always like listen to it. If for some reason the video doesn't have sound, then I've typed up like some notes and posted them also. So I will take care of you. And I apologize, the technical errors sometimes happen. Most of the time, I think we've done like 600 some videos or so for NASCAR. It's not a perfect science, but we try hard here. So um, thanks for watching. And with that also, I just want to say that, I made it even easier now. Just if you want to get into the Discord where you can get free information on NASCAR, or if I do a speculation video or don't get a chance to go to video, I usually throw my sheet in there. Just go to FSidfs.com, FSidfs.com. It's very simple. And once you get to that page on the right, there's a place to click on to join our Discord. Once you get in there, go into the room. It's called NASCAR Pool and jump in that pool. And there'll be some free content and help for you from time to time. I don't give you everything because I sell paying subs. I got to take care of them. But if there are some times where the video gets screwed up, or if it's a race where I don't have a chance to get any content out there, then that's there. Plus, tomorrow's the last day. We were running a promo for FSI for free VIP day. We did it all weekend long, and just get into Discord because time to time we'll throw out promotional stuff. We'll throw out free cores. We'll throw out free opportunity to get into free rooms and things like that. Just to say thank you for being part of that community and staying in the Discord it's a fun place on like a little clubhouse that we have there. So if you join and go into the lobby, scroll back to a couple days, and I'll even pin it in there. It'll be easier to find, and then you can find that code and go and purchase a free daily VIP pass. But our daily VIP passes are $6. They're very inexpensive. It covers everything, all sports. So that's what I got going for you. So okay, let's get to this breakdown here. So think the biggest decision is going to be, do you play Shane Van Gisbergen or not? If you don't watch my truck and my Xfinity videos, then you might have not heard the discussion before, but if you do, then you probably know where I'm going with this. The Kyle Busch factor. It's kind of been watered down a little bit recently, but there's times where Kyle Busch used to run in trucks, especially in his own team or Xfinity, where he would be priced at $14,000 or $15,000, and you knew that he was going to go out there and probably dominate and win the race, and just it's a men among boys. Wasn't even fair. You kind of had to have them, so you had to just pick your other five drivers with the salary that was left for you. I think that's kind of potentially could be the case for Shane Van Gisbergen here. Although last year he started fifth and was one of the highest owned drivers based on his performance on road courses in Xfinity Series. He was tearing it up and winning everything and winning it in his first year here in the first race. And somebody ran into him and broke his back toe link or something, and he was out of the race. He finished at last. So that can happen. It's a lot of salary. And what I usually do, like with those Kyle Busch races, or sometimes with like Larson dropping down, or if there's somebody that you know is head and shoulders above the field and probably going to dominate and win the race, then I would split my cash and I'd have one lineup with the high price driver in it, one without. I am not doing that tomorrow. I am not playing Shane Van Gisbergen in cash. He's probably going to go out there. He's probably going to dominate the race. He's probably going to win the race, but it's a road course. There's not that many laps. It's not a short track where all those dominating points are going to add up to something. You have to have it. I think, and even in the optimal today for and winning the Xfinity race and going out there and pretty much being dominant. I mean, there are times where he wasn't leading, but he kept on getting the lead back. He was not in the optimal. And with all the really good drivers in the back because of different situations and the place differential that's going to be up for grabs, then I don't think that you need to have him on FanDuel. Yes, FanDuel, you need to have him because finishing position is so important. Place differential is more important on DraftKings. So that's what you need to look for um, in building your cash lineups. So that's where I'm going with that. So that's why I even put the orange on. I think he's a GPP play only. If so, there's different ways that you can approach this. And I think you approach it kind of like a super speedway where you want to find place differential, but you also want to try to maybe nail the winner here, especially on FanDuel. But on DraftKings, I think that you can have one car in the top 10 last year was Bowman. I think he started eight, and he was in the optimal. We could end up winning the race, and everybody else was place differential. And I think that you almost had to leave close to 10K salary. So don't feel that you have to use like all the money here. If you have a lineup where you like the place differential and everything works out, and you're leaving a couple thousand, even up to 7, 8, 9, 10,000. If you like your lineup, don't try to use all the money. So, but I'm going to try to pick who I think the winner is going to be. And then I'm going to definitely go place differential in cash. GPP, I'll mix it up a little bit, but I don't think I'm going to have more than one top 10 driver uh, in any of my GPP lineups as maybe two. Maybe because Gibbs is like in ninth position. I could see pairing him with potentially somebody else and this is DraftKings. FanDuel, you want probably a lot of the ones up here and some place differential mixed in too, but you want to guarantee some finishing position also. So McDowell, I think, has a great one of the fastest cars in practice. It's been very good here and on road courses, so I think he's one that could potentially win. That's why he's got the purple tag. Flosevar has some upside. I think he finishes like maybe 10th, but if he can hold on to it and keep the car clean. He's a little overly aggressive, which I think could get him into trouble. Pushing it and when he trying to make things happen when they're not there could cause him to fall back a little bit. So he's got the GPP upside dominator tag. Reddick, I think, has had one of the best cars here last year between Reddick, Gibbs, and Kozlowski. I think he's got a great shot of winning this, and probably my second favorite if Van Gisbergen doesn't win. I think Reddick could potentially take this one. And 2311, Michael Jordan, the owner, Chicago narrative. I don't know. I'm a sports conspiracy guy sometimes, and think that there are certain things that I've said over and over again in these videos that just you look at like Jeter's 3,000th hit with a home run and how Ripken's last All-Star game, hits a cookie thrown to him and hits a home run. It's just like sometimes things happen because they make a great story in sports, and I think that not necessarily that they're cheating or they're fixed like the WWE or something like that or scripted, but I do think that they do sometimes make conditions conducive for these stories magically to happen um, during them. Maybe I'm completely off my rocker. I don't know. But I don't think that I'm going to go out there and bet a ton on Tyler Reddick to win. I will have like one. I'll probably bet he's probably the only like Wallace is so far back. It may be Wallace. Okay, so maybe the 223.11. I'll put like $5 or $10 on just in case. But I've I think talent wise and everything else, besides the fact of being like a Chicago and a Michael Jordan connection there with 2311 Racing and the city they're racing in, I think that he does have the talent in the car to be able to pull this off. Briscoe, no. Briscoe always qualifies well and goes backwards. Really scared with the Toyotas with just how many problems they were having. Like Denny Hamlin blew his engine just like on the first like lap out of the gate here. Swalich blew an engine in the Xfinity race. It's like Joe Gibb Racing, like a couple years ago, they had like a bad streak in July and August, and that's like kind of when Kyle Busch was like leaving, and like his car kept on breaking down, and Hamlin and Truex, and they just had mechanical issue after mechanical issue. I hope we're not heading down that road again, but I've seen some weird things happen recently, and just kind of um keeping an eye on it. I'm not like saying I'm completely fearful and not playing any of these cars because of it. So right now, it just seems like a couple coincidences, but if we see a little bit of smoke, then maybe there is a fire we need to investigate. So Kyle Busch, I'd love to see him win a race. I mean, he potentially could still win any race, and there's kind of like Jimmy Johnson before like the end where like okay and Harvick too. Harvick, I think Harvick's a better example, like where it's like so close to like winning that last race, and it just doesn't come to fruition. I hate that he goes 2 years in a row. I think there's better tracks for like Kyle Busch to win, but I wouldn't completely roll it out. Looked pretty good here, so I have him as upside down. Reese, I think, is gonna go backwards. Busher has been very, very solid at road courses. Um, there's only a couple people in the next gen era that has had consistent results, and he's definitely one of them. So definitely love his chances here to potentially steal this one and win it. So I'll bet a little bit on him, but a little bit of uphill battle, but he started in the eighth position, the same place where Bowman started last year. So I'll definitely sprinkle him into some lineups. Ty Gibbs, I toyed with putting the purple on, but with the whole Toyota thing, and he's just like it seems to be snake bitten, gets so close, but just hasn't got over the hump yet. Um, Other than the All Star race to win like a points race. So I think that I really love him in the Giant GPP as one of the best cars last year, and I think he can do it again this year. But I don't feel safe playing him in cash. Austin Dillon, like great job qualifying up here, buddy, but you're gonna drop like an anchor. Not playing him, no way. Bowman, all the Hendrick cars had adjustments, so they have to go to the back of the field. So he's not going to start 11th. He's still going to be scored 11th. So he's going to have to, it's going to be, and there's definitely different things they can do with short pitting, which means they pit before the end of a stage and forgo stage points to try to get track position. Then when everybody else pits at the end of the stage, then if they can hold the track position, then they're good. So I think he might do that. He has some great strategies last year, and I think we'll see that again to get him back into contention. But I think he's more of a GPP than um, cash play. Logano, he's okay on road courses. He hasn't been great on this road course. His crew chief is very good at strategy and zigging when everybody else zags and coming up with some off the wall things that really work out sometimes and really don't work out sometimes. And there's no floor in that to play in cash. So GPP probably won't play much of him or any of them here, but I don't want to put the fade and slam the door on you if you're interested or if you like the last man in, if you're just around the 7,000 range. Uh, Trying to see here. If you had 300 more, I prefer Will Brown. I'd probably drop down 500 to Gillian or even maybe Justin Haley. So there's definitely, or even like 100 to Kozlowski would probably be a better one. Christopher Bell, strong cash play here. If you're starting a little bit far forward, I'd probably put the purple dom on him. He's outside the top 10 obviously here, but he's one in my cash games that I might consider being the one that I play up here because I do have some confidence that he will and potentially get up in the top 10, maybe in a top five car. A real dark horse to win this. Again, it's a Toyota, so a little apprehensive, but I haven't seen anything that really caused me too much concern. He's been good on this track here. Solid results, being on road courses. I think that he'll be a very good play here. Larson, same thing, but starting to the back, so I'm going to have his GPP because could get caught up in something back there or have to change up strategy for the race to be able to get the track position back. I don't really see a floor in that, so I got to put his GPP, but I think there's definitely one that I will have some shares of because I like the potential and what I saw in practice. I think he'll have high ownership. Kozlowski really don't know as a road course, but he's been really good at this Chicago track. And one of the best cars last year with Gibbs and Reddick. So I really want to play him in the 100K lineup. AJ Allmendinger has always been good on road courses. Price a little steep at 9K. Um, but I do like the fact that he could probably get up to into top 10, maybe get up to six with 10 place differential points. Colleague has been good on road courses. They've struggled on some other tracks this year, but road courses, they've still been solid. And AJ understands the braking principles and everything. And he was Shane Van Gisbergen before Shane Van Gisberger was into the series. So he's still there. And maybe the sleeping dragon awakes and comes and goes out there and dominates and does well here. So I think I'll definitely have some shares of him. Blaney, I like also. Not again, not typically a road course driver, but it's done well here. He's showed more speed, and his price is phenomenal. Just because, based on his some results where he hasn't been good on a road course, they only have him at 7,500, and that's a great price for someone. So I think you can play him in cash. Suarez lost his ride this week. He's going to finish out with Trackhouse and mutually parting. It looks like Zilich will probably have this car next year. So I don't know where Suarez is going to end up, but I don't. He was good at Mexico and in the city race and did okay in the Cup one, but I just don't feel like the results have been great here on the Chicago track. So GPP for me. Will Brown is the same cut as Shane Van Gisbergen. I don't know if he's as talented, but he comes from the same um, sports cars that they race in Australia. So he's used to this type of car racing on these types of tracks. And colleague again has had a decent program. He's got AJ Allmendinger there to kind of work with him, and I think he definitely is going to be a sleeper here. So that's why I have the 100K tag on him. Gillian's starting a little bit too far forward for me, but 6,500. He's been solid on road courses, and if he can just hold his position at 6,500, I think he'll be fine. Herp's the same thing. I go put him as GPP just because of the Toyota. I think he's starting a little bit too far forward here also, but love the price at 5,100. And if you need him as like one of the last men in cash, then I think you can play him there. Ross Chastain, his he finishes around like the 20s, so I don't. Maybe there's some upside, but I don't really see a lot of floor here. So GPP for me. Cole Custer, I'm putting the prime tag on him. I know you're probably thinking I've been ragging on Cole Custer all year long. He's been fades multiple times. He's been GPPs. He's seldom in a cash play. But Cole Custer is a good road course driver. And the Haas, even though they haven't had the speeds on the ovals, has had some speed on road courses. Cole Custer won this last year in the Xfinity Series. He's driven really well. He's been up there competing in Xfinity and many other road courses until he got taken out by stupid people um, in a couple of the races. So 23 is starting a little bit far forward, but I wanted to have somebody that kind of gives you some value that I feel really good about that made help balance out my line to get the high end driver that I wanted, low end, the high priced times towards the bottom, and he was the perfect one that I felt fit my budget and what I was looking for upside and floor. Gregson, GPP, uh, he should be okay here. I think he had some contact with the wall, so I don't know if he's going to go to the back, but it's not too far back. I think he'll be able to make his way up. But GPP for me, I don't feel like the floor is there. John Henry Nemechek, the same thing. I saw him like off the course into tires way too many times in other series on road courses and on the Chicago course. So until I see some consistency, I can't play him in cash. Zane Smith, I can. He's been solid. Um, 26. I think that's a great place to at 6,000 to have him as cash. I think he'll be pretty popular. Also, Austin Cindric is always been good at road courses, does not qualify good here, but usually gets up close. I think his average finish is like just around the top 10 in the two races here. So there's definitely some place differential. Like even if he gets up to 17th, that's 10, but I think he gets a like the ceiling of like 15 to 20 place differential points. So I'm not saying that you have to. I did consider him as the prime play, but I want to go a little bit less with Custer. So, but I really like Cindric and Cash, and he potentially could be in my main cash lineup. I haven't completely decided which way I want to go yet, but Cindric I definitely like here, and his practice speeds look good also. Haley is still kind of he's been good on road courses, but because the speed overall, he's just a tick behind the other Spire ones. I don't know if it was like losing Childress as a crew chief or other things going on, but just hasn't seemed to have it recently. I know a lot of places I've seen where they're looking at like dark horses, have him listed as like prime play or if other nobody else I don't think does 100K plays like I do, but if they're looking for like dark horses or like somebody a surprise pick or whatever. But I think that's because like either I can't remember the first race or the second race here, if it was last year, where he was up there and like was dominating and challenging for the lead, but it was based on a strategy call. It wasn't based on anything he did, but the strategy worked short term. It didn't work long term, and he ended up not having a great finish, even though. But I think people might remember that, and maybe Lowe's wrong. Maybe he might be even like more medium to high owned here. I'm moving up to medium just because I think people remember that. But I think it's like he's not with the same team he was with before. This team just doesn't seem to have it as much together, and I don't know if they'll have the as good a strategy as they did, but it didn't work out anyways last year. So I think he's in a GPP. Barry is not a good road course driver. His average finish is like in the mid 20s. Um, I think you can play him in cash here because I think there's enough other people ahead of him that are going to struggle that if he can just go out there and keep the car clean, Cindric's really good at that. I mentioned earlier is uh, like just going out there and doing a job and running. And if Barry can do the same thing, and I mean, they're kind of like affiliated, it's like some pseudo teammates. Uh, potentially if they both can do that, then they should have some solid floors for them. Austin Hill's always been good at road courses. This third Childress car has never been like super amazing, but I think that he had enough speed in practice, and I think that he has enough upside that I really don't know about playing cash. Licky, I really like on road courses. He teaches how to drive on road courses, and usually has been solid. But this MBM car is so bad. It's a piece of junk. I don't know if it's going to make it. It might be the first car out with attrition, so I'm off of Blicky in this race. Stenhouse, I think you're playing cash. His aggressiveness is kind of a concern, but I think he'll be good enough to get you a little bit of place differential, so he should be solid there. Leggy, Legay, a lot of road course experience in Europe, but really hasn't turned the corner in NASCAR. I mean, she's trying racing in like every series, everywhere to try to build a name and get credit, and maybe it will come. Like I don't think she's abysmal, but I think there's a lot. I think she needs a lot more time behind the wheel and she keeps on switching between like trucks and Xfinity and Cup, and they're all different types of vehicles, like with the way they drive and shift and things like that. So I just don't think it's translating yet like it did with Van Gisberger, but I just fade. I just can't do it. Um, I was just shocked that she qualified over time because I thought Corey Klein would be in here and maybe a dark horse to do quite well. Jones struggles on road courses, ends up in tire, spins out, turns around. But again, starting 34 instead of 58 doesn't have to do that much to pay off his salary and has some floor for cash, so he gets the green tag. Cody Ware, I feel the same thing about the MBM. The car's going to break down and not even make it, so not playing him. Ty Dillon, the Collie car, I think there's a lot of upside here at 5K. Like Curb Your Enthusiasm, maybe like up to 25th, so maybe about 11 is the ceiling, but that's enough at 5K to pay that off. Bubba Wallace, again, struggle at road courses. This is kind of the same thing as Eric Jones. You see him spin out and things. They're having mechanical issues with the car, with like shifting, maybe it was. That's why he's this far back, and he's going to have to stay in the back because of an adjustment. But they have it fixed. He should be good, and obviously has a lot of upside here, so he's going to be a cash play. I think some people might floor him down here with Byron and Elliott, but I would rather go with Chester and let you make the decision if Wallace fits your lineup in your build or not. Byron and Elliott, you got to lock these ones in. Elliott has more upside than Byron, but I think Byron can be strong also. And I think they'll go with strategy. If they can keep it clean back here and not get wrecked early and caught up in something stupid, then they will probably short pit, get track position, and be able to hold it for the rest of the race and have a solid day. And you're going to need that place differential to match the field because of their ownership and because of probably what's going to happen. I would prefer to invest in them or Shane Van Gisbergen if he leads every lap of the race and wins by a mile. So, and then finally, Denny Hamlin down here. Hey, Denny's going to backup car. Obviously, blew the engine. Everything should be fine, but Denny's not been good on road courses. He hasn't had the speed. Um, and I think, again, like people will say, like, okay, just start your lineup with Wallace, Byron, Elliott, and Hamlin and figure out the other two drivers that fit. I just don't think that might be the correct strategy. Byron and Elliott, yes. Wallace, I can see that. Hamlin, I kind of struggle with, like we saw, um, and it worked out because I think Kyle Sieg was in the optimal lineup, even though or Ryan Sieg, even though he wrecked, but he started towards the back. Uh, but sometimes cars that start towards the back get in trouble and are one of the first ones out. And even though they don't really hurt you, they don't get you like a much like any hardly any points. I think Sieg had like 2 points, and again, I think that was enough in the optimal. Was he in the optimal today? Let me just check that quick. The optimal for the Xfinity race was it's freezing. No, he was not in it. But I know that quite a few people like cash with him. I had Blicky and Blicky had an issue too, and I was able to cash with that. So like some of these ones down here, if they do have issues, that's fine. It's not going to kill your day, but you really want to try to find some upside. If you're playing for place differential, you want the place differential, not just the safety of them doing absolutely nothing. So Hamlin, I don't think is going to be in my cash lineup. But I might change that. I don't know yet, but I think that many people are going to stack 37, 38, 39, 40, find the R2 that fit. And if you do that, you risk having, if it hits, it hits. Yeah, that's great. But you're risking like double ups and stuff and like tying with like so many different people and multipliers and stuff and not cashing or not even getting your money back. Because like your $5 double up, it might be like all tied and get like $2.22. So you didn't like make your entry fee back even. So I just kind of fear those scenarios. That's why I try to go out of my way to give you some strategies that are super close to what I think everybody's going to do. But it gives you an opportunity to be a little bit different, but still very competitive. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, put them chat below. Hit me at MegaRule31 on Twitter/X, whatever you call it, or just go to the website FSidfs.com, get in the Discord and in the NASCAR pool free room, then you can hit me up there. Or if we're just on the same server in Discord, then you can DM me also. So that's what I got going on for you. Next week we head to Sonoma, so it's another road course. So let's see what I can do with practice and qualifying and try to get out videos. If not speculation ones, a cup one usually is easy to do. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. We've had great viewership this season so far. So I'm so thankful for that. Or for you tuning in each and every week. So if these videos help us back, like, subscribe to our channel, and share with your friends. So I hope you have an amazing weekend. Good luck in your contest, and we will see you next time.